welcome. My name is Bill Stark.
And I'm Tim Fenbert.
Yeah, we're excited to have you today, and we appreciate you being here because you're investing in your leadership skills as a local government leader. So really appreciate you taking a few minutes and checking out today's topic, which is about high impact goals. That's what we're going to be talking about today, high impact goals. You know, Tim, high impact goals are a little different than maybe your regular goal, right? A regular goal that we might think about in local government is that we're going to have an annual city picnic, let's say, or maybe an annual summer event for citizens to come to in the park, something we do every year that's normal. We're not really talking about that kind of goal today. That's more of an event. It's got milestones. We're talking about a different type of goal today. But one thing is for sure is that leaders have goals. Leaders set goals. Actually, leaders set kind of aggressive goals, transformative goals. And so that's where we're going today with this topic. The other thing that we would love for you to think about is maybe find a copy of your city or county's strategic goals, or maybe ask your division director if there are any strategic goals or objectives that he or she might have for your division. Because the goals that we're going to talk about, these high impact goals, it would be awesome if they aligned or if they complemented what your city or county wants to do, what the elected officials want to do. So that's kind of the area we're talking about today, these high impact goals, a little different from what you might be familiar with, project or event type goals.
I think some people who might be viewing this video might say, oh, this is really easy. It's easy for me to think about high impact goals and come to those. And I think there's others of us that might really struggle with this. Maybe we're just so in operations that it's hard to think on day to day. I'm really not about goals. And what our encouragement to you would be, there's opportunities for you to set even operational goals that are high impact for your team. It's about efficiency, maybe productivity, customer service, those things that everyone in local government, every team in local government needs to focus on and can better themselves if they set high impact goals around the way we do things. It's like we like to think these are proactive goals. These are goals that are not maybe so obvious, that would push our team to really be excellent in the way that we serve our communities. And so, just think outside the box a little bit with your team. If this is a hard thing for you to think about as far as goal setting, because maybe it's something you haven't done a lot of, just think about how you can make your team better. And most importantly, how this can carry over long term. These high impact goals have big impact over a long period of time, maybe as opposed to like an event or something that's kind of one and done.
Yeah, another thought is that whatever your high impact goal is it's got to be measurable. Y'all have probably heard of SMART goals before, and the M in SMART is measurable. And so whatever goal you select, whether what Tim was talking about, whether it's a customer service goal, maybe you want to improve your customer service, maybe it's morale on your team. Whatever that high impact goal is, it has to be measurable. We have to start at a number and we want to move to another number. We start at a 2.3, we want to move to a 3.3. The second thing I would say on this topic is that we want you to think about repeatable activities, things that you can do every day or every week or every month to move the bar, to move the needle, to get closer to your goal. So here's an example. If your goal is to reduce the number of days to fix a pothole from 14 days to 4 days, and that's a transformative goal. That's a big deal.
It is.
Citizens are going to be happy about that. You'll get less complaints. But if you want to reduce the number of days to fix a pothole from 14 days down to 4 days, you're going to have to do some things every day, every other day, every week to just chip away some repeatable things. One of them would be every day at 4 o'clock, the customer service team that takes calls from citizens has to sit down with the operations team and review where the new potholes are coming from, where these calls are coming from, what's the address, and get a number and get a head count and schedule them out on the schedule in the next 4 days. Another repeatable activity would be that the supervisors meet with the operation manager every day at 5 o'clock and they review the current backlog of potholes and the new potholes and put them in some sort of geographic zone so they can figure out a plan for implementation. These are repeatable activities. These are things that if you do them every day, it's going to keep you focused on those actions that speed up the process. So said a lot there, but number one, be sure your goal is measurable. And number two, be sure you have in place some repeatable activities that you're going to do on a recurring basis that will move you closer to the goal.
Yeah, Bill, I want to talk just briefly about some of these maybe efficiency or people goals that you may set, a little bit maybe less obvious than reducing days to fix potholes, because we haven't maybe measured customer service. How do we know? We've never really asked the question. Or maybe with our employees, we just aren't communicating well enough to know their level of engagement or satisfaction. And so you're going to, as Bill said, you're going to have to measure those things. You have to get a benchmark. You have to figure out where you are today, really before you set the goal of where you want to go to in the future. So there's lots of these types of things like processes that can be improved. But as Bill said, you've got to find a way to measure them. And another idea that we want to give you is this idea of a dashboard. When you collect this information, when you start to measure things, when you have your benchmark, it's really important as a leader that you have somewhere to go. And maybe it's just a spreadsheet that you keep up, a dashboard where you can find that information. You can find out how many potholes did we fix, kind of the goal matrix. And is our trend improving, or are we taking a step backward? And then you'll also want to have a dashboard on those repeatable activities, those things that you're doing every day or every week that are helping you reach that goal. Those need to be measured as well, and those need to show up on your dashboard. So you can, in your meetings with your staff and with your team, you can talk about, are we getting closer to our goal? Or are we falling behind? And ask the question, why? What's underneath that our repeatable activities are showing us that we're moving further away from our goal because we're not doing those things that we need to do. So we like the idea of a dashboard as a way for you to keep track and communicate with your team on your progress.
So we really want you to think about these goals from kind of a management and leadership perspective. We often say that managers are really super concerned. They're sort of hyper-focused on what's going on today. And we need to be focused on what's going on today. That's important. But we also have to be leaders, and leaders think about tomorrow. I recently spoke with a supervisor at a local government that we serve, and she was having some morale issues that were really stemming from poor communications. And we got to talking about this situation and what she could do to address it. And we actually talked about the idea of surveying all of her employees to find out what type of communication they're having or not having in her department, so she could actually get a quantifiable, measurable score of how are we doing in communication with our team. Because, Tim, if communication is not good, morale's going to suffer, productivity, all kinds of things suffer when communication is not working. So in this case, she now has, after this survey, she will have a measurable number of the current quality of communication in the department. And let's say it's a 2.5. Well, we want to get it to a 3.5. So then what are those activities we can do every day or every week to start to improve the situation? And you can just imagine what some of those ideas are. We won't repeat all that now, but you get the idea. And those are some real world challenges, some real world opportunities for local government managers, supervisors, directors to think about, to take your local government, your department to a whole nother level. And that's really what we want for you. If you have any questions about this or thoughts, you're welcome to call Tim or myself. We'd love to talk to you. You can check us out online at LinkedIn or Facebook. We post podcasts and blogs there from time to time. We also, our main business is providing leadership workshop cohorts. These are groups of 8 people, 8 leaders that get together and go through a 12-month program around having success with people and having success with results. So if you're interested in that, we'd love for you to reach out to us. In the meantime, we hope you have a great day, and thank you again for taking a few minutes and being with us today to learn about these high impact goals.
We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.